In our first story, government is looking forward to an uninterrupted trade with the United Kingdom, with 29 days left for the country to exit the European Union following the controversial Brexit referendum. This was announced by the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, when he returned to Ghana after a 4-day working visit to the United Kingdom, where he successfully secured some loans with the UK government to help finance some 3 major projects, including the Tamale Airport. Addressing a press conference at the Jubilee Lounge of the Kotoka International Airport Wednesday evening, Dr. Bawumia said the administration of Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo is hopeful of a sustained trade cooperation post-Brexit.
We also took advantage to discuss the trade relations between Ghana and the UK post-Brexit. We needed to anticipate Brexit and how it would mean in terms of our trading relationship. Currently, we are operating under the Economic Partnership Agreement under the EU, but if we have a hard Brexit, we will have to think about a new area of cooperation. And we had fruitful discussions on that area between our team and theirs, and we are going to take those discussions forward as their situation also evolves. But we expect that whatever we are going to put in place by March 29th would be sufficient not to disrupt any trade between Ghana and the UK post-Brexit. It's very important for both of our countries that there is no disruption in trade.
Now the news, the school feeding program in the Pandai district of the Northern region is on the verge of collapse as caterers have refused to cook for school pupils for reasons best known to them. At the Loloto Presbyterian School, pupils say they have only been fed twice this term. A school kitchen has become a pen for stray livestock. Henry Kwesibedu visited the school and reports that academic work is being affected.
It's 30 minutes past 12 in the afternoon, just about the time pupils of the Loloto Primary School should be fed. But today, the story is different. Children who came to school on empty stomachs with the hope of being fed are worried. The school kitchen, sited behind the school block, where food for the 200 pupils was prepared, is dry today. No ingredients, no cooks, and has now been taken over by goats. Students of Loloto haven't been fed under the school feeding program for the past 2 weeks. Here's assistant head teacher Lucas Tatul in Tapuan.
See, this is our kitchen where the school feeding program is ongoing. But our caterer, as it is now, there is no food to be cooked. She hardly brings food for us. And even if the food comes, all the ingredients that are supposed to be attached to the food for the feeding to be made are not available. So because of that, we find it very, very difficult to cook. And we don't know what is happening. The whole of last time, just like 15 days. Last time we had about 71 days in school. She cooked almost just 15 days. Yeah, she hails from Salaga, that's where she's coming from. So anytime I thought the market vehicles are coming, she gives the food to the vehicles and then they'll come and then offload the food for us.
When was the last time you actually saw her here?
I have never seen her here before. She has never come here. She only sent the food to the vehicles and then the vehicles will bring the food for us. I have never seen her here.
Nanja Jagri and Likpa Charity are both Class 6 pupils here. They are concerned about the lack of food at their school. Going back home to eat during school hours is the only option they have.
Only 2 weeks, and they cook for us.
And last time, what happened?
Last time, there were no cook. There were no food.
They didn't bring food at all?
They didn't bring food.
So what do you do if there are no food?
If there are no food, we will go to break and come.
When we are coming to school, they are not cooked. When they are not cooked, some people come from Kurupi and Tamabra and come one day no cook. They can't go to Blake. They can't get the food. So that when you come back to school, we hunger.
District Education Director of Pandai, Fosinanayan Donko, says the problem is widespread in the district.
Most often when we go out, we find out that some of them do not cook because the caterers are not coming from the district. They are coming outside the district. And so when food stuff is short, they are not aware. Some children go to school without eating. They leave their homes to the school without eating. And it is when they get to the school that they take their lunch and continue classes. So when they know that cooking is not going to be done today, they don't come to school.
The Education Directorate in the Northern Region wants the government to reverse the situation and save the program from a total collapse. They are worried the school feeding program is gradually turning into a school-starving reality, a situation affecting school enrollment and attendance in the deprived communities. Henry Kwesi Bedu's report for JoyNews.
20 local entrepreneurs and businesses in the Amansia West and South District are undergoing financial literacy training to enhance their capacity. The initiative is spearheaded by Asanko Gold Ghana to promote and sustain local enterprises in competitive environments. Nana Asensu Mensah has more in the story.
Ghana's Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012 LI 2173 compels medium to large-scale registered mining companies to give stipulated volume of businesses to local vendors, contractors and personnel of business enterprises which provide services to the mining firm will be taken through tender and procurement processes as well as book and record keeping. The Asanko Gold initiative is aimed ultimately at reducing waste in order to make the businesses profitable. Charles Amoa is Executive General Manager.
And also to create an enabling environment for local SMEs to thrive and participate in Asanko's business. Also to collaborate with relevant stakeholders to seek updated industry, pre-qualification and other relevant information to aid the development of SMEs. We believe by this approach, SMEs will be exposed to best management systems, processes and practices, which better position them to meet the stringent requirement and expectation of the mining industry, of which Asanko is no exception.
Partner Group Enablis Ghana Country Director, Shika Akolache, gives overview of the training.
So what we do is that we come in and fill that gap and fill in the spaces of how to do their marketing, how to do their record keeping, how to do their business proposals, how to fill in the bid documents that Asanko would put out from time to time, how to cost the projects properly, how to work professionally and be on time to meet the needs of Asanko or any other company that will require the services.
Some beneficiaries spoke to Laugh Business.
A contractor at the Asanko Gold. First of all, I think this training which is coming on will help me a lot because sometimes I find it difficult how to procure a contract from the company. So I think with this training, I'll be able to go about how to get a contract and then move on with my business too.
Nana Asensu Mensah reporting.
A scientist at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology is advocating mandatory genetic counseling for would-be couples to deal with increasing sickle cell infection in children. Dr. John Kenneth Mensah observes failure of many religious organizations to embrace the practice is to blame for emergence of new cases. The chemical biologist spoke at a symposium in Kumasi on advancement in human gene therapy.
In Africa, sickle cell disease is a major public health challenge with over 200,000 babies born with it each year. In Ghana, approximately 15,000 or 2% of newborns are annually diagnosed with sickle cell disease. Dr. Mensah is convinced religious bodies have a crucial role to play in reducing the rate.
You have somebody who is AS or SS. AS. And some churches, they don't offer genetic counseling. They accept the Bible literally. He who has found a wife has found a good thing and has obtained favor from the Lord. And God said, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. The man is AS, the woman is AS. So what do? They marry. What God has joined together, let no man put asunder. Look at you, look at them. You want to put the marriage asunder. Now, according to the Mendelian system of inheritance, right? Gregor Mendel, remember him, the grandfather, the cuddling monk who started this genetic thing in the first place. Some of your offspring will be SS. So you give birth to an SS, and you call the prophet and the pastor home, the audacious Christian. He comes in and puts his PhD tongues into play. I cause this disease to vanish in the name of Jesus. It's SS.
The weekly symposia seeks to bring to fore latest developments in the world of science. Dr. Mensah is urging collaboration between scientists and religious leaders to realize socio-economic progress.
So using CRISPR, the pig becomes a surrogate for the human organ. You slaughter it, you take the organ, you transplant in a human being. We need to bring all arms of our scientific community together. All arms. We have to bring the religious bodies together because you will never make progress in Ghana without convincing the religious authorities.
Reporter for JoyNews, Kwesi Deborah.
And before we go, let's focus on claims made by President Akuffo on the economy and the health sectors when he delivered this year's State of the Nation address last week. Raymond Akwa throws more light on the claims and the verdicts in this report.
Let's start with the president's claim on increasing GDP rates and decline in debt to GDP ratios and inflation.
Production in the economy, as measured by real GDP growth, has picked up very strongly in the last 2 years. From 3.4% in 2016, real GDP growth increased to 8.1% in 2017. In 2018, provisional data for the first 3 quarters indicate a strong real GDP growth of 6%.
This is completely true. The Statistical Service, in its annual rebased GDP growth rates at constant 2013 prices report, corroborates the president's claim on the GDP in 2016 being 3.4%, which saw a massive improvement driven largely by the oil sector, to 8.1% in 2017. The president also stated that the nurse assistants that passed their exams in 2016 commenced work by February 1, 2019.
These nurse assistants belong to the tranche that passed their exams in 2016 from government health training institutes and have commenced work by 1st February 2019.
This is false. The claim that all the 14,000 nurse assistants preventive and nurse assistants clinical commenced work on February 1, 2019 is not true. After they completed school in November 1, 2016, they had their results in February 2017. Since then, all of them have not commenced work as the president indicated. This is corroborated by the February 25, 2019 statement from the Ghana Health Service signed by the Director General, which indicated that the recruitment process is rather commencing today, February 27, 2019.
And that's it for the latest news update. But we have more news. We'll look at a review of the newspapers. We'll look at myjoyonline.com. And then also we have more issues to share with you. Stay with us. It is the AM Show.